Hey All Heart fam, MK here. First, thank you. We had the best weekend of our lives at CIM last week. It was so much fun to meet with the All Heart community, and we were absolutely floored by how much love and support we received from everyone, even while they were running their own races. Oh man, people shouting at us, All Heart, and just smiling and being happy on the race course. It was an incredible experience. We are truly grateful to be a part of this community, the run community, the All Heart community. Man, we love you all so much. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for sharing with us a little bit about your own running journeys. We were inspired by all of you. Keep going. We just put up our CIM race video yesterday. Thanks so much to everyone in Sacramento who contributed to our story, our weekend, our race experience. The video is getting a lot of love, and I'm super happy for Cole. We slept maybe 5 hours over 3 days putting that video together, and it was well worth it. I love that I get to stay up late at night to work on a project like that with my best bud. I love you, Cole. I love my life. So this is the California International Marathon Race Recap. I'm going to take you through the entire weekend, but first, a word from my good friend, Adam.
Okay, we meet again. Subscribe, AHRC.
We got in our last easy run at home at 5 a.m. It was nice meeting up with my training partner, Denny to share some miles with him. And we even got to run a little with Haven as she finished up her 10 easy miles. We packed up all our stuff and left for Sacramento at around 10 a.m. on Friday morning. Evan skipped school. It's about a 7-hour drive from Irvine to Sacramento, during which we reviewed race strategy and reminisced about milestone training runs that would give Evan and Cole confidence during the marathon. We put in 33 weeks of hard work. 3 macro cycles of a speed build, a base build, and a marathon build that led to this race weekend for CIM. Kids were excited and ready to race. We stopped at an In-N-Out and had burgers and fries. Cheers to health and fitness. The benefits of being a distance runner. We checked into our hotel at the Hyatt Regency, which was one of the partner hotels of CIM. It is also located really close to the finish line, which was super convenient and allowed us to get washed up before checking out on race day. Highly recommend booking at the partner hotel through the CIM website, since they reserve a block of rooms every year. We went to the expo at around 5:30 p.m. on Friday. There were not a lot of people there, so we took our time and visited all of the vendors. A special shout out to my friend Andrew at Sunrise Running Company. Please check them out. Awesome run company. On our way out of the expo, Cole noticed someone who was pointing angrily at Evan, and he ended up following us around a bit. I guess he wasn't a big All Heart fan. Anyways, Cole was pretty distraught and overcome with anxiety and anger. I didn't notice the hater, but I did notice that something was wrong with Cole. And at the very moment that Cole and the not so nice guy were about to have an altercation, a woman walked right up to Evan, put her hands on Evan's shoulders and said, "It's you! I love you!" and proceeded to shower her and the rest of us with so much love. Thank you, Myrna and Ralphie. You don't know how much it meant to us to receive your love and support at that very moment. And thank you for saving Cole. Because of you, Cole's anxiety instantly disappeared, and the hater was completely erased from his mind. We love you, Myrna and Ralphie. Friday dinner was turkey sandwiches and pretzels. The kids nibbled on some carby snacks while they prepped for the Shakeout run, and we ended up going to bed at around 9 p.m. We went to the Shakeout run, which was scheduled for 8:15 a.m. Cole, Evan, and I were super grateful for the turnout. It was a nice mixture of in real life friends and internet friends, and we had a good time running 3 miles with our All Heart Run Club. Cole and Evan took one group out for some easy miles with pickups, and I mingled with everyone else who wanted to jog. All right, let's go! After we said goodbyes, Evan answered some interview questions for the documentary project that Orion is working on, and we made our way to Target to pick up some bagels and jam. We also stopped by Noah's Bagels for some fresh bagels and cheese. Shout out to my good friend Todd, who I met along with his wife at that very bagel shop in the previous year. Appreciate you, my friend. Cole had 4 bagels and Evan ate 2 before we got ready to meet up with our good friends for a pre-race lunch. We typically do our biggest pre-race carb meal during lunch, and we usually have pho since it's so carbohydrate rich with rice noodles, and the salty broth is really great before the race as well. We met our crew in the hotel lobby where I spotted CJ Albertson, who was so gracious. I asked for some photos and he proceeded to put down all of his stuff on the floor next to a wall to talk and take pictures. What a class act. His race strategy? Stay with the lead pack and win. CJ Albertson is all heart. We had so much fun spending time with our all heart family, and I got a chance to meet with one of the athletes in my coaching program, Thang Hyung, for the first time in person. Thank you so much, Thang Hyung, for the awesome restaurant recommendation and for treating the entire crew to a fabulous lunch. You're so generous, all heart. Unfortunately, Cole broke his sunnies on the way to Sacramento. So we had to go back to the expo to buy some new ones. Fortunately, our friend Jason was at the expo, so we decided to hang out with him and get some brand new pink shades for Cole. Thank you to everyone who came up to us at the expo to say hello, to share about their running journeys, or to ask for a picture. It is so inspiring for us to know that we are all out there running together with all heart. It was late in the afternoon by the time we said goodbye to Jason, who finished CIM in 2 hours and 57 minutes, by the way. Fantastic. We made our way back to the hotel, munched on some more carby snacks until 4:30 p.m. and got our race kits ready. We never talked about the race plan all day. We simply had fun. We had the best time of our lives with our friends, old and new. Our hearts were full. I felt that the race on Sunday could only turn out well. The kids were in such good spirits, and we had so much positive energy around us during the entire weekend. I put the kids in bed by 6:30 p.m. and gave them their final dad/coach talk before kisses goodnight. Take care, Evan. You're a good big brother, trainer, and coach. Love you.
Love you too.
Evan, you are my hero. I love you. You go race strong tomorrow, okay? Okay. And when you need a little bit more energy, and you need a little bit more strength or a little bit more courage, you think about all the hard work that you put in, and you think about all the people who are behind you supporting you, okay? Okay. And you go out and race with all heart. Okay. Love you. Love you too. At around 8:30, I met my friend Colin, who flew over from Philly just to hang out with me and watch the kids and the rest of the All Heart crew race. Colin is a goat. Really appreciate your friendship. Sunday morning, we met our friends at 4:15 a.m. in the hotel lobby to walk to the buses.
holding all the cards, and always kept me in the dark.
I have terrible anxiety before races. It is a marathon after all, and Cole and Evan are my babies no matter how strong they are as distance runners. So it was a giant relief to have friends like Aya, Marsha, Danny Young, Isaac, and Wookie there to be there with the kids on the shuttle ride to the start. So thankful for my All Heart friends. I love you all so much. I kissed Evan and Cole a bunch of times, said goodbye, and Cole and I were off for our own adventure. We cycled in the darkest, wettest, scariest morning fog from Sacramento to Folsom. It was an adventure. Pitch black dark, so misty that moisture fell like light rain, and it seemed like zombies would pop out of the woods at any moment. But we enjoyed a 22-mile bike ride to a little past the 5-mile mark, and here's how that went down.
Life is good, yeah. Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like.
So many people shouted at me, MK or All Heart. So many people asked how Cole and Evan were doing ahead of them. Man, you all were concerned about my children in your own race. We love you so much, and so many people were smiling at me while I cheered for all of you, even though they didn't know who the heck I am. I love the run community. Only one person called me Kofuzi during the entire weekend. It's okay, Michael. You are forgiven. And this nervous dad was so relieved to see Cole and Evan running so smoothly by mile 5.5. They were within a giant group of people who were behind the 3-hour pace group, which was also a giant swarm of runners. Cole was sticking to the race plan and keeping it at a jog to shorten the course for Evan so that they could run strong at the end. They split the first 3 miles in 6:56, 6:48, and 6:49. A comfortable jog. Cole and Evan told me later that it felt really slow. Awesome. Cole picked up the pace a bit and split miles 4 and 5 in 6:45 and 6:44. All of these splits are coming from Evan's Strava data, which is going to be a little off, so thanks for understanding. There were some rollers from miles 6 through 10 that caused some pace fluctuation, but Cole kept it pretty consistent, splitting those miles in 6:48, 6:50, 6:40, 6:45, and 6:45. During this stretch, Cole was starting to feel some gut discomfort, and this is when he decided to stop taking hydration. I think in the heat of the moment, Cole was so hyper-focused on staying with Evan that he didn't consider just stopping to use the restroom real quick at mile 7 and using 5 or 6 miles to catch up to Evan. Instead, he chose to stop hydrating so that he wouldn't have to stop running and just do his best to get as far as he could without hydrating. Totally selfless big brother move there. But in the future, I hope that Cole will trust his own fitness a little more and stop to use the restroom. 26.2 miles is unforgiving, and even a beast like Cole cannot neglect hydration. The dynamic duo increased their speed according to plan and split miles 11 and 12 in 6:37 and 6:34. This is when Evan dumped her bottle, and it's also when I discovered that Cole still had a lot left in his. He told me about his stomach problem. I calmly asked him to start drinking again, but I knew deep down inside that he was going to pancake at around mile 19 or 20. I didn't want to plant that seed, so I just asked him to drink and to stop to use the restroom whenever he needed to. Cole and Evan split miles 13 through 15 in 6:36, 6:35, and 6:34. At this point, from miles 10 to 15, they're making their way through the field very smoothly, steadily passing runners. It was an awesome sight. They had left the massive group they were running with at the start, and they moved through and past the massive 3-hour pace group, which went out really hot from the start. I have no idea what the 3-hour pace group strategy was, but it was extremely fast from the beginning of the race. Both Cole and Evan still looked really smooth. Evan was breathing inaudibly, and Cole mentioned later that he had to look back several times to check that she was still there. She was so calm and stealthy. She was well prepared and the pace was very aerobic. A little past mile 15, Cole had to go to the restroom. He reminded Evan to hold 6:35s until mile 22 and then descend it with 4 miles to go. And then they separated. I had so many thoughts and emotions at this point. I was so grateful and in awe of Cole for his sense of responsibility as Evan's brother, training partner, and coach. I also was just so sad for him because I knew how disappointed he would be about not finishing the race with Evan. And I was terrified at the thought of Evan running the race solo. After all, she's only 12. I had been doing a lot of leapfrogging up until this point, cycling past the kids and waiting for them at intervals to cheer for them. But after Cole left, I stayed with Evan, cycling next to her on the other side of the road. Fortunately, CIM closed down the road on both sides of traffic, but the runners were only on the right side. The median separated me from her for a ton of miles, so a lot of the camera shots were kind of far away, but I was grateful for the median since it allowed me to safely cycle without getting in the way of the runners. Evan brilliantly split miles 16 and 17, both in 6:33. Up to this point, she was still steadily moving through the field. We had planned for a very aggressive negative split, and it was working so perfectly. From the profile side view, it looked so pro. I was in absolute admiration of her. She was just nailing each mile and was so composed. Evan split mile 18 in 6:33, and this is where she met a small pack of runners who were starting to pick up their own pace, and Evan decided to use their momentum and go with them. They were moving a little quicker than what we had planned, but Evan made a decision that it would be easier to run a few seconds faster with a group than it would be to continue on a few seconds slower, but alone. The pack split miles 19 through 22 in 6:31, 6:32, 6:31, and 6:32. And this is when the wheels started to wobble for Evan. Towards the end of mile 22, Evan started to breathe a lot harder and more audibly. Her form started to break just slightly, and even though she was trying to increase her speed, she split mile 23 in 6:35. And for the final 5K, it was a real battle. Evan was breathing extremely heavily at this point, and her form had broken down a lot. She had lost her knee lift, and her posture was leaning forward. Evan slowed to 6:55 for mile 24, 6:45 for mile 25, and 6:50 for mile 26. After mile 25, I could no longer follow her since the barricades went all the way to the finish. I can only imagine how hard she must have fought to the finish line, but I'm certain that all of the training, all of the love and support from all of you, all of her own energy, courage, and strength willed her to the line. She ran the last quarter mile at 6:09 per mile. She ran that last stretch to the finish with Cole, with me, and with all of you in her thoughts. She ran that last stretch to the finish line with all heart. I am so over the moon happy for both Cole and Evan for finding more of their own humanity through their marathon race experience. I think they learned so many valuable lessons about altruism, discipline, courage, will, and love. Evan may not be the fastest 12-year-old distance runner in the world, but I think that through the marathon experience, she has the heart of a giant. Thank you all for coming along with us on our marathon journey to CIM. We are already so excited for the next one. See you in Hawaii. Man, that was tough. Trying to keep it together.